Американская фирма Transceptor Technology приступила к производству компьютеров «Персональный спутник».
There's a war brewing, folks, and I don't mean to say that word lightly at all. This is really going to affect people's lives.
The political firestorm in Wisconsin over proposed changes to bargaining rights and benefits for government workers intensified this weekend.
What's happening in Wisconsin may be the start of a series of similar confrontations nationwide.
Walker is also on a mission to destroy basic human rights, union rights, that is, for public employees. He wants to eliminate collective bargaining rights, except for salaried employees, for all of Wisconsin's roughly 175,000 public employees. You know what that is, folks? That's union busting 101.
So, Governor, explain to us how this is not an attempt to crush the unions, given that collective bargaining is the last thing on the table. What does collective bargaining have to do with deficits and spending?
Every time I tried to do something sensible to balance our budget without laying people off, the union said no.
As you know, your critics say this is not about balancing the budget, it's about union busting. And the unions and the Democrats have said they're willing to take the concessions on wage and health benefits. They're willing to take about an 8% pay cut, but they simply don't want you to take away their collective bargaining rights.
American wage earners are under a ruthless attack by a new group of cold-hearted Republican governors around the country. And in the state of Wisconsin, newly elected Republican Governor Scott Walker is trying to balance the budget on the backs of school teachers, prison guards, and snowplow drivers.
What kind of governor refuses to meet with nurses, teachers, and firefighters, but takes a 20-minute call from an oil billionaire?
Hi, it's Scott Walker.
What kind of governor would endanger citizens who are peacefully protesting?
We thought about that.
What kind of governor threatens layoffs even after state employees have agreed to cuts?
I'm not negotiating.
What kind of governor proposes sweetheart deals for oil tycoons?
Outstanding.
Governor Scott Walker, it's time to stop the games and resolve our state's crisis.
We'll back you any way we can. But what we were thinking about the crowds was planting some troublemakers.
You know, the only problem with because we thought about that. Ronald Reagan, whose 100th birthday we just celebrated the day before, had one of the most defining moments of his political career, not just his presidency, when he fired the air traffic controllers. And I said, to me, that moment was more important than just for labor relations or even the federal budget. That was the first crack in the Berlin Wall in the fall of communism.
Well, I'll tell you what, Scott. Once you crush these bastards, I'll fly you out to Cali and really show you a good time.
All right, that would be outstanding.
They've decided to represent the interests of people like the Koch brothers who own the corporations. The Republican Party represents those economic elites. And on the other side, the other party, the Democratic Party, represents a much greater number of people, the non-elites, everybody who has to work for a living. That's the reason there are two different parties. That's the reason the two different parties exist, even if it is unfashionable to say so, and I recognize that it is. And to the extent that the Democratic Party embraces that split and supports policies that make it clear where they stand, that they stand for most working Americans, to the extent that Democrats do that, it helps the Democratic Party.
I don't think it does anybody any good when public employees are denigrated or vilified or their rights are infringed upon.
CBS News and the New York Times released a survey last night which shows that many Americans are siding with labor unions in the current disputes.
I'm a firefighter.
And I'm a Madison police officer.
And I'm a kindergarten teacher.
And I'm a small business owner.
I am an outside lineman.
I'm a heavy equipment operator.
And I'm a union carpenter.
I'm retired Army of 28 years. Why am I here today? I'm here today because basically I feel that that's what I served for in the Army, is to support the working class of America.